Well, let's go live. Go to here. Right. Kind of going live here unannounced almost. It's hard for me to schedule live streams simply because I'm at work when I'm streaming, and I just never know when the opportunity will present itself. So I'm just been doing a basic setup on a guitar that I've worked on several times and done some alterations to for a very long time friend of our shop and a guitarist, singer, who does a lot of cover band or cover material and plays a lot, and also a survivor of cancer. We were all very worried about him about a year ago or so. And he's back in business and back in shape and taking really good care of his physical health, and he looks great and sounds great, and we're all very proud of him. He went to he's retired recently, and he went down to Arizona, and we set this guitar up for him right before he left, and he brought it back and feels like it'd be worthwhile to go from that environment to this environment and get it set up again so that it's adjusted for our climate here. Something about guitars that I think gets talked about, but it's not probably done as often as it's probably not done as often as it should be, and that is if you move or take your guitar to a different environment, especially something like this. This is a really cheap guitar. It's a plywood body with a piece of picture of a piece of wood on the top of it. Very inexpensive guitar, but also it has a very nice neck put on it. We did that a while back, and also he's put Fishman pickups in it. He just loves the way the guitar feels, so he took the time and effort to turn it into something that he really loves. And it looks like the string action's a little bit low right now. We'll check that here in a moment. And I'm hoping that the intonation is still correct, but we'll see how that goes. Let's see, current bit rate. Okay, so the bit rate is lower than it's supposed to be, but I should have, yeah, for some reason, again, I'm running into OBS having some issues with my stream. It says good connection, not excellent connection, whereas on my other computer, it always gives me excellent connection, but we won't worry about that. It seems to be working okay. If you're having trouble with the video pausing or jamming up, let me know. Just doing my normal everyday routine. Oh my goodness, there's trouble. How are we doing?
Where's Fred?
Doing
Fred.
Good. Oh, Fred's doing great. He's been to the vet twice in 2 weeks or in a month because he's still got the upper respiratory crap going on.
Who does?
Fred. But he got a new veterinarian. She is. Whoa.
Where's she at?
Thank God for Fred. Not.
Right? One at the other end of Adams?
She's down at the end of Adams.
That's where we go.
Dr. Donick.
I think she's new, probably.
Yeah, she just started there,
yeah.
right?
Oh.
We've never seen her because our dog has been dead.
Yeah.
Too long.
I did see you walking down the street yesterday, I
You
think.
saw me?
You were down there coming this way.
Yep, I was at the post office.
There you go. See, I saw him. I knew I saw him.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm an Uncle Marshall for a young lady who's having some friend of mine's. Her daughter's having some trouble in school.
So you're helping out.
Yeah, wrote her a nice handwritten 7-page letter, and I won't tell you what she did. She did some stuff in school. She's 9 years old.
Oh,
you know,
just a
and
baby.
there's at that age, kids have no consequences for their actions. So I called her last night and Justin, is Emma there? You know, so I talked to her for a while on the phone, and she's having a hard time because family is close, but they never call, they never come over and visit, and Grandma never comes and sees her, and all that crap.
So everything's a crisis.
Yeah, it's everything.
You straightened it out, yeah. You're
I'm
working
just
on it.
trying to do my best to be the uncle that I was for my nieces and nephews in Portland, where I'd go visit them and spend time with them. And of course, I never hear from them.
Now you got a new family.
Right, now. Yeah, so, and she's so young that you got a long
Does she live
time
with
to...
her mother or father or something?
Yeah, she lives with her dad.
Oh.
And her mom, they have joint custody.
So you know them?
I've known Justin for... I met him in 2004, I think. So it's been easily 20 years, maybe 2002. So it's that's been a new fun thing for me, and it feels good to do that. We had a nice long talk about what she did at school last night, and I was...
it's more like, why did you do that? And we need to work on it.
Yeah, who got hurt from you doing that? Who did you hurt by doing that? Well... Teacher's probably pretty mad. Well, yeah, she's upset, but she's forgotten about it by now. Who did you hurt by doing that?
Oh, one of her students.
Yeah,
or
you got to realize that you don't hurt anybody by getting mad except yourself. You're the one that gets to live with that for the rest of your life. And it's interesting because with her, I'm babbling too much, but
we know
she's doing stuff that I did when I was her age.
You can remember that long ago?
Probably easier
Come on, man.
Probably easier than you can.
Well,
just kidding.
And like I said, it's the dumb shit that I did when I was that age. That I didn't think before I acted. I didn't think before I spoke. You know, and I did stuff when I was in school for whatever reason. And I got my ass paddled by the principal. I mean, talk about there's nothing more embarrassing than that at school. I don't know if you ever got paddled.
The last time I got paddled, I was in the 7th grade.
Right.
That was it. After that, forget it.
It never happened again. And, you know, they can't do that with children now, so they can't correct bad behavior by actually giving them physical
I came home
pain.
and my butt was all bruised, and I showed my dad, and he goes, "What'd you do to deserve that?"
Right, exactly. No, I'm calling the police, you know.
I was never paddled in my life, ever, at school, ever.
Ever.
Nor disciplined, nor gone to the principal,
Right.
ever.
Well, I'll make up for it.
Marshall, can I have your number, please? In case I need some counseling.
Right, and after that happened to me, I never got in trouble again in school. I did skip school a couple times and got in trouble for that, but that was just getting suspended and sent home. And so then I was grounded and had to deal with my mom and my dad yelling at me and all that. So anyway, we're trying to help share some.
Good for you, Marshall.
Yeah, so
That's
got that.
nice.
And I am.
You've always been my hero when it comes to guitars. And
Stop that, man.
I don't know about the counseling yet. But.
Right. If you ever need relationship counseling, ask anybody but me.
Well, I knew that.
Yeah, I'm still single as can be.
Well, then there's Fred.
What's
You've
that?
got Fred.
Yeah, we get along great. He never talks back.
We saw this really nice calico cat down the street down there.
Yeah.
Went out and jumped in some trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
And we go around on our kitty runs. We
Drive around and count cats every day.
Yeah.
Fred seems to be. We've done 2 regiments of antibiotics. Because when I met with her, I saw Dr. Henry the first time.
Right.
And then she came into the office, and so the next time we saw her, be still my heart, man. She was beautiful and super cool and everything, but nonetheless, didn't wear a lick of makeup. She's just, oh
Really
man.
pretty.
So it's really cool. But so thank God for Fred. But no.
Don't be trying to sprain his little ankles now or
Right.
anything. Don't be throwing him out of the upper story window.
No. So she gave him another antibiotic dose, and we kind of discussed how we can treat him to knock this thing out that he's been fighting for years. You know, and so we're hoping that this new thing that she's like, bring him in 2 weeks from now. We'll check him again and see if he's got any. So hopefully this will. It's a new attempt to try and get rid of.
Maybe I could come in every other day.
What are you doing tomorrow?
If you could afford that.
I think she's probably pretty busy. She was great, very conscientious, and you know, so hopefully this regimen. But you know, but he's feeling. It seems like this last dose we did 2 injected antibiotic treatments, and he seems to be getting
A lot better.
Oh man, he's feeling. Seems like he's just a personality change, a lot more energy and all that. So
I'll have to go over and get some for Matt.
What?
All right.
Get a little more energy, you know.
More
energy.
Boy, vitamin D, sunlight are for energy, man, and make sure your thyroid's working.
I take a thyroid thing.
Yeah, I have to take one now too.
And I didn't for years, and they told me, but I didn't have any. I never get the symptoms and stuff.
Yeah.
I just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Yes, he's got to get to work.
He's got way
Very
behind
guitar
on this.
work, yeah.
It's a pretty guitar.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This belongs to Terry.
Terry.
Terry Lamont.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be gigging with it this weekend, so I got to get it done.
Gotta get it done.
Turn her up.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, it's great to see you guys.
Well, it's always good to see
I
you.
love to see you guys.
That's why
when
we
you come.
stopped. See you and Mallory. And Mallory's not here, so.
I know.
Where's he at? Goofing off or what?
I don't know. He just comes in whenever he wants.
And usually he's out here.
Kind of like he owns the place.
Oh, isn't that annoying?
Hey,
See
you
you,
guys
Marshall.
have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody. Jeffrey and Joe. Hi, guys. Thanks for popping in. I get to visit with some friends every once in a while. So we're doing a basic setup on this thing, just getting it retuned up for coming back to Northeast Oregon from Arizona. And I've already done a little tweak on the truss rod, and boy, I did a good job on that. The thing is looking really good. So we've got our neck relief proper, and I've done that, and I haven't adjusted anything else on this. I haven't checked the intonation, but I want to play the guitar a little bit right now, just to see with just doing a basic string setup. And I did have to adjust the truss rod, which is in the neck, in the base of the neck here. So it's an older Strat neck, a really nice neck, and it's got really nice fretwork on it. But oh boy, looks like I dripped some coffee on there. I want to play it a little bit to see what it's like after correcting the neck relief. Sometimes that can make a huge difference in the playability of a guitar, and it can also potentially... What is this? What is this? Oh, it's a couple guitar strings. Good grief. Okay. Now I know what this is. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I'm trying to clean up a little bit, and it's stuck on something. We got a nylon string guitar in the other day that I had put strings on, and that's all done. And so I got these black strings. I was like, "What is this stuff?" They're nylon guitar strings. So let's plug this thing in and see what she sounds like and how she plays right now after doing just a quick neck relief adjustment and putting a new set of Ernie Ball Slinky 9s on here. And I'm really trying to get Ernie Ball to be a sponsor of my show and to endorse me, because I play live. I advertise their products to you all the time, and I love their strings. So let's see. I got no signal. Well, where's my signal lost? Oh, no, it's not plugged in. Okay. It's got power. That's got power. Oh, because the volume was turned all the way off. Oh! Okay, so my guess is that the battery on this is probably dead. Now, interesting
You see how much those X are right now? I'm gonna get the price here. They're $480. So I think totally you're gonna be. Whew, let me see here.
$480. Wow, that's crazy. So I don't know. This is a Fishman pickup system, and in order for it to work, you have to make sure that it's charged up. So yeah, it red light. So I can't really play it right now, plugged in, but maybe it'll play with it with the power. Oh, it helps to plug the guitar in all the way. There we go. Amateur hour, and I'm gonna keep the charger plugged into this, so when I give it back to him, it'll be somewhat charged up. Now I'm gonna tune it up a little bit here. And I'm fairly well familiar with this guitar. Nice. So I think we're going to have to adjust the string action a little bit on this thing. It feels like it's a little bit low. So we're losing a note right there.
Car play, but it is not an Ibanez deck, so all your vehicle stuff would not pull up on it. So let me see what's available. I think you might be in trouble if you want a DVD player and you want the vehicle stuff on the stick. No, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's not going to hold tune. I haven't stretched the strings real well yet. But
yeah, get the idea of the link.
I'm going to leave that plugged in. So what I'm going to do to leave that charging is we're going to put a towel under this. That way my charger can be plugged in. How are you doing today?
Doing fine.
Oh, waiting for the man. All right, cool. Alright, so let's check our string action here. And at some point in time, I managed to lose my string action measuring gauge that I love. And this one, I do not like the Dunlop versions of these things, because the other ones have, this one, in order to measure 64ths of an inch, you have to have the thing sitting on the guitar like this. And I'd rather do it sideways like this. So not a fan of these ones, but they do work. So we're a little bit low on the string action. I'm going to raise it ever so slightly here.
Cut that, but I can take it apart. And
how's it going, Chris?
Good, how are you?
Excellent.
I wanted to talk to you when you have a moment. Oh yeah, I got time. Okay, what I talked to Joe about, what I'd like to have, he said you do some additional work, such as what I'm looking to have.
Just raising about a half a turn on this low E string to see what that does for my string action. That'll give me a good place to start. And I know let's see. There we go. Now I'm liking that dimension right there. We can get away with pretty low string action on this guitar, but we got to be careful not to be so low. I'm going to go a quarter turn on this. this saddle right here. There we go. Yep, that did it. All right, let's see what we look like now. I do not like these. Don't buy these Dunlop gauges that are set up like this. They don't have the dimensions on both sides of it, and they wasted a whole side on these little other lines, unless you like measuring like that. But I prefer to use the 64th inch. I don't like the little solid blocks. I can't see them as well. I don't think they're very accurate. Now we're out of this. Unfortunately, these types of saddles, you have about an 16th inch of threads to adjust with, and then if you get too far up from that, you can't adjust them anymore. They run out of threads, and so not a fan. And again, I gotta sit here and mess around with this thing to find the right side of it to use to measure. Yeah, so our string action on this guitar is it's really too low, and when I played it, it was uncomfortably low. And there may be a reason for that, because I might be running out of saddle height adjustment here. So that's probably why it is like that. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm at the very bottom of the threads on this saddle, so I can't raise this string anymore without adjusting
with the whole bunch of
the neck.
That's what I was going to check into to see what the cost is.
But the string action is just,
still has the,
it is still way too low on this D string.
So I just wanted to do, because they keep changing.
I'm gonna try here. I'm gonna see if I can get it just a little bit more out of it.
There is that really nice.
Yeah, and I'm running out of threads on that one, so I'm going to look and see if I have any longer screws here. Do I have some longer screws? I know I had a whole bunch of them here.
Prices are on those things.
And they are hiding behind something.
So we're not done yet.
All right. Where are my adjustment screws? Where are my saddle screws? I've got a whole bag of them here. And they're black, so they won't color match.
What I was going to tell you is that
apparently left my possession. Somebody else needed them worse than I did, I think, is what the deal is.
And they can play CDs into the unit.
It's it's unfortunate. This thing is running out of.
Right, exactly.
Running out of room.
There's more inputs on that.
I can't raise that G string any further.
Right.
I may need to think about that for a moment. Let me see what the B string is.
Oh, anytime. That's what I'm here for, buddy.
So we're a little bit high on the B string, so we're gonna. But I'm running out of bending room, so we're gonna have to again do the mojo thing on this. So we're still running out of and I still haven't really stretched these strings properly. So they're gonna, with me bending on them like this, but I like to test the guitar as to its limits, what a guy might do with this. So we're going to bring this treble E string up just a bit here. Oh yes. Here we go. I'm going to go a half a turn, and I can see this saddle has settled. So these things, your saddles will adjust themselves over time, this saddle is sitting crooked on the top, so I'm guessing that when I adjust it right back up to being level where I would have set it, I would never send a guitar home, and I'm probably the last guy that worked on this, unless the owner had made an adjustment, but I would never send a guitar that I've set up with the saddle not being perfectly level. So let's see what happens. So now my bend has been, that problem has been corrected. And he really enjoyed the setup on this guitar, so I really don't, ooh, I gotta be careful about that, that charging port. Okay, so we're looking really good on that. So let's go ahead and stretch the strings. We'll get the strings stretched and check the intonation on this. These are Fender bridge saddles. I need a new battery in my Snark. I better go grab a new, oh no, here's one. I got batteries right here. All right. How many times these things die? Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Oh, I thought I got lucky. I didn't. I'm going to try and cut my finger off trying to get a battery out of here. That's an important thing to do. Hope everybody's having a really good Wednesday. I had just gotten buried in work. I am very, very busy. These came in yesterday, and I have about 6 guitars in front of this one. However, this guitar needs to be used at a gig this weekend, and so my job is to make sure that the working musicians have their guitars in working order. When they bring them into me, they go first, which is my policy at this place. If you don't have a gig, I'm still going to try and get your guitar done as quickly as I can possibly do it. But if you do have a gig, your guitar gets on the bench first. Giving it. Okay, we're not quite in tune yet, but let me play this thing for a minute. I'm going to get the thing in tune, and we'll see how we're doing. And again, thanks you all for stopping in today and paying a visit to my channel. I appreciate it. If you feel like joining the channel, I do a lot of instructional and educational videos. And if you want to support the channel, you can definitely join the channel as become a member. That's always fun. I do member only videos, which are usually pretty interesting, and they kind of vary from doing this type of work. You'll never see fake guitar playing on my channel. Boy, this thing feels nice to play. I wish I could hand it to somebody. I wish I could hand it to you and let you feel how great this thing plays. Now, it's still not holding tune real well. tune really well. He doesn't use a whammy bar when he plays this guitar ever, that I'm aware of. So to me it sounds like the intonation is out. Sounds like this very sharp. So that string is definitely not properly intonated. So again, we're gonna break out the old Peterson strobe tuner and check the intonation on this thing. You're getting to see, if you take your guitar to a trustable, reliable guitar tech, all of those things that they will do to help your guitar be as good as it can possibly be within the limits of physics that the guitar contains. Right? There's not always stuff that we can fix because of the limitations of the guitar. There are definitely limitations that we run into that we have to compensate sometimes. String.
Yeah, I was wondering how I was going to ask you about that stuff. Let me get that back here.
Yeah, so our intonation is out. So that string is way too sharp. Oh, okay. So this is something that I ran into last time, and we're going to have to correct this. I'm going to take the time to definitely correct this time. I can't move this saddle back any further, and the A string is also bottomed out. So we're going to take a little bit more time here today to get that taken care of. So I'm just loosening up the.
I have no use for it.
Okay. I'll just probably pull the knobs and toss it.
The tension on the string, and
You don't pull the little pieces.
we're going to cut this spring down.
Things like that.
I'm going to cut it in half initially. This is something that we can do very easily. Come out of there. Sometimes it's amazing how well a screw will bite in a little tiny thin piece of metal, like what the Fender guitars use. So again, I'm going to just take this spring and I'm going to cut it in half. Now I have hundreds of these little springs laying around, so there we go. And I've got this one cut in half, so here I will show you what I'm going to do. Here is I'm going to save a spring. I'm going to save me having to use 2 springs, and I'm going to use 1, and then I've got a spare, right? Because this one is probably too short also, but that remains to be determined. Again, I hope everybody's having a really great Wednesday. If you feel like you learned something watching my channel, feel free to use PayPal. The links are in the description of the video. And you can also join my channel and make all of this video stuff work that I do for y'all to hopefully learn how to do something on your own instrument. You know, that's the whole point of me doing these videos, is to help people learn how to do that, and to kind of give the world an opportunity to see what an actual tech has to do. I'm going to hold off on moving this A because I've already cut this one, I can tell. So we're going to put this one back to where it was, pretty close to bottomed out. Now let's check our intonation one more time. And again, I hope you're having a great Wednesday. My day's going great so far. Typical work day. Oh, good in the grief.
Yeah, you can't get them anymore. Pretty soon nobody will know what they are.
Let's see where our intonation's at now. Emperism, hello. We're still reading a little sharp. So we'll move this saddle a little bit further. So now I've hopefully corrected that problem by reducing the length of that spring so that I can get that saddle moved back a little bit further. There we go. Let's see where our A string is at. Now what I'm really hoping for is to find that the G string is out of intonation, because that seemed to be the string that when I played an open E chord when the guitar was in tune, which is kind of a great string to check, that one's a little bit flat. So this thing has definitely changed a little bit over the time that it's been in Arizona to when it's to now that it's back here home in La Grande. The Peterson tuners, yeah, man, this thing it's very accurate. So you can see that I'm still showing a little bit sharp. Now in many cases that's close enough, but I would rather a string appear to be a little bit flat when intonating an instrument. I mean, I want it to be dead on, but I would rather have it be a little bit flat than being sharp. Sharp is really bad because we bend notes sharp. We can't bend them flat, right? So when you grab a chord, you'll oftentimes, through technique or whatever, you will sharpen the pitch of the string while you're playing a chord, and it'll make the chord sound dissonant or out of tune. And so I like to set them up so that they lean on the flat side. So this is a little trick. If you know, when I do that with my own instruments, boy, when I play chords, they are dead on. They're usually dead on. And when I say flat, we're talking microns being flat. Not that a micron is a measurement of pitch. Okay. So now we're getting way too sharp. So we need to go back the other way. And I'm running out of room to adjust this saddle. Now, you may have just have noticed, ooh, my battery's going dead. I think I've got another one sitting here. I may have to swap that out. Yeah, it's something to think about. If you've noticed emperism, man, if it's something that you haven't done before, it is definitely something to think about doing with your own guitars to see. It's easy. Most guitars are very simple to adjust intonation. It's not a very time-consuming process, but you just have to be very accurate and hopefully have a very accurate tuning mechanism like I'm using. So it's still a little bit sharp, so I don't know. I'm running out of spring distance on here, meaning I'm really having to squish that spring. But you can try this with your own guitar and see. It doesn't necessarily mean that it works for every guitar, but it might work for you if you feel like when you're playing chords they're just getting a little out of tune. There we go. All right, now I need to change the battery in this, and I recall, I think last week I put a battery in an acoustic guitar, and I think that was my last 9-volt that I had sitting here at my bench. I may have to run over and grab one, so if you just be patient with me to run over to the front desk. Our shop is not very big, so it'll take me a couple seconds to get over there. I'll be right back. We'll change the battery in my tuner. Using a tuner with a low battery is a bad idea also. It'll give you inaccurate readings, right? So these things, let's see, I think I used like an Amazon Basics. Now, buying Duracells and Energizers is not necessarily the best thing in the world. They are not necessarily better batteries than an Amazon battery. That's the God's honest truth.
Hey Reinhard, stereo music. So what did you guys find out on your end? What did you decide? I understand. So you're kind of.
Yeah, I hope you have a shitty day.
That's only if people are here.
No, I'm not. Yeah, that's too hard to do. Yeah, that's a bunch of real pain, and it doesn't ever work out. So, so the car lot's willing to chip in $400, you said?
So these, that's cool. These Amazon batteries show an expiration date on the bottom of them, which is really nice. It's very clear and concise, so there's no confusion.
Oh boy, yeah, that drives.
Yeah. Whereas on a lot of other brands of batteries, they do have an expiration date, but
the deck that's in there now is dead in the hole. Correct.
You try and find them. It's amazing. Sometimes they're a little difficult. Although I do recommend using the same brand of battery most of the time, because then you kind of know what to expect. It's just like guitar strings, right? I've been using these types of 3032 batteries, or yeah, 2032 batteries for my Snark tuner for a long time also. They work great. Okay, let's check that D string one more time, because it seemed like it was shaping up pretty nicely. And I hope you can see the tuner okay. I don't know how well it's showing up in the video.
So let's leave you some other options.
I usually hit the open string, then hit the harmonic at the 12th fret, and then fret the note.
Correct. And
you'll notice as the note fades, it kind of falls to being a little bit flat. So this string is a little bit sharp. So I think I'm dead on here. And there's a little mojo that we have. That's what I call it, where you kind of use what your knowledge of the tool that you're using. Yep, that's great. Now, I am really hoping that this G string measures really sharp. I am hopeful. Please measure sharp.
With the CD player in it.
It's a little sharp. But if I play an open G note, so now that note is sharp. We want to get it as close to dead center as I can, so I got a good measurement that I'm looking at here. I hope everybody again is having a good Wednesday.
I have many customers that use it just to see.
I may go live tonight and do a little bit of real guitar playing, and then hit the G sharp. You see how out of tune that G sharp note is? That could be a lot of things, that the fret isn't placed in the proper position. We could probably...
that was an important thing that we should have known earlier on.
If I compensated the nut,
wiring that in is about
I could possibly fix that, but I'm not going to go that step this time. This guitar has been close.
Right.
close enough for a long time, and he didn't complain about any intonation issues.
Okay, let me go
He
back
will.
to our inexpensive options here, okay? But, okay, keep a CD player. You do want probably...
So that G string is dead on, so I'm going to leave it.
Oh, okay. And you'll probably want the Android.
And the B string, you'll notice it's a little bit flat. I like that because when we play that B string, it's very, especially with 9-gauge strings, it's very easy to bend sharp if you're playing a chord.
Okay,
And the E string is ever so slightly flat. So I'm really digging. All right, I think we are pretty darn close to being done with this one. And again, I still have it plugged in and charging. And the Fishman pickup system in this, I can't remember.
Okay, that's good to know too. All right, here we're gonna have to.
I can't remember exactly what the model of this Fishman system is. The chord I was going for right there.
And that was all right. Yeah, just after two, and I'll be right back with you, buddy.
Okay, that's good to know, man. That's cool. I think this thing is ready to go gig. I'd usually turn this up a little bit, but I don't want to.
Oh, yeah. Tell me you'll take it somewhere else.
What's that? Oh, no. Don't worry about that. It's all right.
There's no reason you can't go sit in the office.
Yeah, no, that's okay. These pickups are really nice.
They are.
I love these things. Now, I need to turn the amp up a little bit to give my ear a little better shot of this thing. I was keeping it really quiet because we had somebody on the phone over here. And there's a whole store that they can talk on the phone, but they have to come over here. This is a nice, comfortable chair. And as you can see already, just moving the guitar the little bit that I just did will knock it out of tune. And I've got my snark on here. So don't leave the snark on your guitar headstock when you're playing live, please. Tuning. I know it gets old. good. I think this one's ready to go. Now, he brought another guitar in to me that I'm going to bring out and start working on right away. Look at that. We've got a nice green light on there. So, we know that I'm going to send this home with a fully charged battery. Oh, there it is.
Kind of sexy. I know it's not brought up to pitch. I know that it's going to need at least a truss rod adjustment. I can tell.
Okay, I've got I'm going to jump on that right now. We'll demo that thing. Let's see.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's right up my alley. I love stuff like that.
The old Nashville.
It's freaky.
It's a Donner, and it's.
But it's freaky and cool.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Retro, love that.
But when you get a chance, bring it up to pitch, and it's going to need at least a truss rod adjustment. I don't want to have Marshall
magic snippers.
Oh yeah.
Stop anything to do it.
I got that. Now's a perfect time for that to show up, Mike.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this for Chris. And
I literally just got done with one, the magic snippers.
all right, perfect.
So, okay, this is a kind of an unexpected treat. These are some of the most affordable guitars in the world right now. This is a Donner brand Nashville Telly. Looks pretty good. I think a lot of the reason that the expense on these is so low is because of the finish work that they do on them. Just making sure we don't have a... Oh, that's a piece of wax. So they're wax dipped humbuckers. So welcome to the world of Donner guitars. Empirism, hello. Camellia, hello. Yeah, Thin Line, Nashville Telly, whatever. I've heard them called Nashville Tellys. And so we're going to do a tune-up on this thing and give it a shot and see where this thing is at. They've done a good preemptive strike, but I'm guessing that this is probably not accurate. It's probably just how they set it up at the factory, which is very common for intonation setup, the way they're staggered. That looks good. It looks good. Who knows what it sounds like. So let me... Machine heads work well. They're very accurate. Alright, let's stretch these strings a little bit. Well, these are definitely light. These are 9-gauge strings. Same exact strings I just or same gauge that I had on that Strat that I was just playing, so that'll be nice. Boy, you stretch a long ways though. So this is a Donner guitar. I think they can be purchased for, I don't know, this one maybe $180 or something off of your favorite online store. I'm just kind of looking over it real quickly to see just what my eye tells me. The neck is aligned very nicely. It's nice and straight, mounted with the strings. The saddles are all kind of getting pulled over to one side. You might notice a little bit of an angle on that, which I'm not quite sure what the reason for that is, but I may give this a little tap to try and center up these saddles a little bit. Yeah, you can see this A string, the D string isn't hitting the middle of the saddle. You're looking, if you do that with a Strat or a Telly with this type of bridge on it, you're going to be likely cutting a string. I just want to pushing the strings over. So I think what's going on here is the angle of the threads is causing those saddles to sit over to the side, which is no big deal. But we can, just something I'm noticing. Usually that doesn't matter at all, as long as they're like touching and can't easily move. Yeah, thin line. Yeah, okay. I don't know what brand strings are on this guitar. They feel like Ernie Balls. And these are also, through the body, they have silver balls on them, so they're not Ernie Ball strings. Who knows what they are? Ernie Ball strings have brass ball ends on them. And they're obviously not D'Addario because they aren't all painted. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of effort to move the string to pitch when it's really flat like that. That's nice. The string trees are placed in really appropriate places up here on the headstock. I'm noticing also. This does have the slotted machine heads, like the old school Fender machine heads. I love those things. Let's see what's going on. I'm getting a lot of stretch out of these strings. Lots of stretch. You can see, listen to how far I'm having to move that pitch of that thing every time I pull on it. Usually by now, an Ernie Ball would have stopped going flat. So, depending on the brand of string you buy, you might just stretch them a little bit and go, oh, they're good. And you haven't stretched them enough, so you're going to end up fighting that for while you're initially playing the instrument. So always double check, triple check your string stretching. That'll just save you a bunch of time when you're trying to entertain people with your guitar, but rather than entertaining, you're tuning the thing. Okay, let's see. I just stretched this down a perfect fifth of an interval. Just one pull on that thing, it stretched that far. Went down a full step that time. Half step that time. Just kind of teaching you, as they're showing you how much stretching is really required. And again, this is coming from, not only do I fix and repair guitars and work on them. Now that just flattened out about a half step, so this one's already in pretty good shape. But I play professionally, and you know, before I go do a gig, I am not afraid to put a set of strings on 10 minutes before I set foot on stage, because I know in 10 minutes I can stretch my strings properly and walk out on stage and my strings are in tune. And you can see the gut coming off, how my fingers look right now. That's the effort that I put into making sure that a guitar is properly stretched. And this one's going to be for sale at our shop, so I want to make sure that when somebody comes in to play this, that they don't have to mess around tuning it over and over and over again. So we'll see how it holds up. But this is not the first Donner that I've had in my hands. We have another one here for sale. It's a Les Paul Junior style. And I'm just giving this a good, before we put it out on the floor, we want to make sure this thing is playable. So here we go. We're going to check the neck relief right now. We'll see where that's at. See how accurate Yep, we need to tighten the truss rod just a little bit, and we need to adjust the string height also. So I'm going to tighten. Oh boy, I was just working on a Strat with the opposite direction. I need to tighten this truss rod a little bit. That would have, doggone it. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see what that did. I will retune the guitar most of the time after each adjustment, but right now, all right, we got to move it a little bit further. For some reason my brain isn't working today on what's tightening and what's loosening. Okay, so this truss rod is actually totally, has no tension on it right now. So I'm just turning it until I start. Okay, there I felt a little bit of a bite on string tension. And there we go. There we go. I'm liking that. It might be a little less than 12 thousandths, but I like the way it felt, and it looks nice. I think the string action is a little bit high. Let's measure that real quick. So this is the order of operations that I do things to set up an instrument. I do the neck relief first, and then I set the string height. And on a Fender, you want to set the string height at the 17th fret, as Leo Fender intended. So we're a 64th of an inch too high right now. So I'm going to go 1 full turn on each of these screws, and we'll make sure that the saddles are all level, which these are not. So we'll level them up now so that we know that they're, at least for what I like on a guitar. And look at that, that nailed the 5/64. Check our A string. I want 5/64 at the 17th fret. We're at 6/64. So we're going to move this again a whole full turn, just like we did on the low E string. And I just go from there. Oh boy, don't drop that inside there. There we go. And again, we want to make sure that these saddles are sitting level. It's a good, even leveled playing field. We're still a little bit high on this one. We're going to come down, go about a half turn or so. If you turn each screw the same, once you get the saddle level, if you turn each screw the same distance, theoretically it should stay at level. I'm going to go one more half turn. It's interesting how sometimes, there we go. Now I'm saying 5/64, but I'm actually 4.5/64 on that. I graduate them as I go across the fingerboard, and doing it this way ensures that your strings match the fingerboard radius. So this string action is definitely set up a little bit high on this guitar from the factory, and of course they do that to make sure nothing's doing fret buzz or anything like that. I think it's probably a policy of most guitar manufacturers to not set the string action really low, or very low anyway. And again, I'm looking at these saddles and making sure that they are sitting level. So now we're reaching the 4/64 measurement now, and we will continue to lower the string action as we go down towards the treble E string. And I want to be down about 3.5/64 on the G string, because the reason I'm able to do this is because the diameter of these strings is far less than the diameter of these strings, so they don't spin in as big of a circle, so you can get away with Slightly lower string action. I went a little bit too far on that one, so delicate process, right? Little tiny moves. Now we're talking 3.5. Now we're at, again, 5/64. So it's almost like they measured these when they actually put them in. Let's see. Charlie, what's happening? Good to see you, brother. This is the stuff that you don't necessarily always see on many of the other guitar repair channels. Is the actual whole wow, that one's right. Okay, let's tune this back. Now, keep in mind, there. I'll tell you why. Now, I just tuned the instrument back up to pitch, and what happens is when you loosen these, obviously the string tension drops and the pitch of the string drops. Well, that also loosens the tension on the neck underbow or relief that I've already set with the strings in pitch. And so if your neck is bent like this and you loosen the tension and it relaxes a little bit, now your string height here at the 17th fret has changed. It's minute, but it's enough that this is how you do it accurately throughout the whole setup of your instrument. I think a lot of techs will just adjust the string height and leave like the low E string real flat because they adjusted it, and they forget that now their neck relief isn't the same. And this again keeps everything very consistent and very accurate in the measurements that I'm making. I have ordered a new string height gauge. Don't order one. Don't get one of these. If you already have one, that's fine, but I am not a fan. Okay. All right, let's see how this thing feels and see if we have any now also what I need to do. The fretwork is pretty good on this thing. I'm going to go ahead and so what I'm doing here is now we'll check our tuning one more time. So we've lost a little bit of pitch on the E. Put you down here. Got a gig this weekend again. We're playing Saturday. Sounds really nicely in tune. Now I'm guessing, so I've done the neck relief and the string height, and let's look at our first fret action on this guitar. Now this is something that this starts to get so the first fret action is still it's a It's terrible on all the strings but the treble E string. So I will do that after I intonate the instrument. So I'll take care of that here before too much longer. Alright. Good night, Emperism. Thank you for popping in today. Hello, Charlie. The Nashville refers to having 3 pickups. I've always heard them called the Nashville with the hole in the side, but they're called many different things. Maybe that's my mistake. I don't play tellies very much. Yeah, definitely my mistake. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. The thin line, yeah, it's not a Nashville telly, but I've heard people call these Nashville tellies many times. Probably the same reason I did. But I got to remember that. Thin line. I don't know why they call them thin lines. Maybe because the top's thin. It's a good guess. Alright. I'm gonna plug her in, check the intonation. Let's see how good the intonation is on this thing from the factory after being set up a little bit. Alright, so I try to do the intonation setup while I'm seated, while the guitar is positioned so gravity and everything is working with me, as if someone who's actually playing the guitar is playing it, so it should be intonated. Pretty close. Still a little sharp, so we'll adjust this. And oftentimes you got to move these saddles a long ways to get the. You got to move them a long ways to get the intonation to set. It's astonishing how. There we go. It'll just be slightly better than it was. So we can see that that one's sharp a little bit. Hey Hugh, Nashville tellies have a single coil pickup in the middle position. Okay, that's a situation. Well, this isn't really a telly then, because this has humbuckers in the bridge and the neck position, so would that eliminate it from the telly category? This says humbuckers. Hugh, it's great to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while, man. I think I kind of caught when, as much as I try and keep up on everybody that I've known for so long on the whole world of online music communities, I kind of caught wind that you were having a little bit of trouble with your health, and I just hope that everything's going well. Now I have moved this A string a considerable distance. And as you can see, the intonation is still sharp. It hasn't hardly moved with all of the adjusting that I've done on it so far. I've probably moved it close to 1/8 of an inch in distance so far. And now it's actually further back than the low E string, which is odd, but boy, trying to get this A string to get dead in tune is tough. Still sharp. It's amazing. I'm having to move this A string a long way to get the pitch to change. I'm just going for it now. It seems like, and that's weird. It's weird how you can move something that far and not have the pitch change at all. It's interesting. Still sharp. You see, you guys, I think you witnessed how many times I sat here and turned that screwdriver. Oh, good news, Hugh. We need to catch up one of these days. So I'm still having to do this. I've had a few changes in my life recently with respect to my health care and medications that I'm taking and such. Most of it's for mental health stuff, but and I'll tell you what, since I've changed some lifestyle stuff, and it's not major stuff, but there we go. Now it took all of that movement. You know what's interesting? Now Hugh will understand what I'm talking about. Look at this. This is intonated, and that is intonated. That is the wrong direction that these saddles usually go. Usually they go like this. That is a trip. So I could not begin to tell you the actual physics, because that makes no physical sense at all. The way physics work and math. Now I'm guessing that this D string is going to be ultra sharp. Just barely. I'm going to move it just a subtle little moment here. But I'm also having to move these saddles a long ways to get the pitch to change at all, so, or get the intonation to change. Been feeling good though, Hugh. And I've been very busy. Okay, with that movement, now the D string is way too flat. Been very busy as the active booking agent for my band, and we're booked a lot this summer. I'm going to be playing a lot of shows. We've gotten booked in some really pretty big shows. It took us a couple years of building a name again with the lineup that we currently have. There we go. And now we're getting into the, you know, some really cool stuff. Guitar festivals, city celebration festivals, county fairs, and things like that. So we're definitely we're growing as a band, getting more exposure and such. So our G string's a little bit flat, so we want to sharpen it a little bit. Pretty easy intonation setup here. I mean, that A string is really tripping me out though. I'm gonna recheck all that stuff before I get done. I'm wondering if there isn't a glitch in my... There we go. And again, I would like to lean on the flat side of a note being in pitch when I'm intonating, just because we bend the notes sharp, rather we can't bend them flat. Again, I just... I gotta... When I'm done setting this up, I want to share something with y'all that, if you're still here, it's an interesting story of my luck with stuff. Really loving my new white Strat. There we go. I'm almost done with this thing, and so the E string's a little bit sharp. Interesting. We're gonna move that saddle. So they were pretty close at the factory. They may have intonated it when it was tuned to E flat or something. Who knows? Or 432, some weird thing like that. The whole 432 tuning is funny. I still have to laugh at guys that tune like that. I know that as time goes on, more people are, I don't know, trying it, I suppose, but I don't get it. I don't find any spiritual part of that making much sense. We're still a little sharp. All these little moves I'm making are hopefully helping this thing to get more intonated. We'll get there. I'm going to share this story with you guys. It's just astonishing. You'll love it. Okay, now we've gone too far. Way too far. I think. And with the Strat style saddles, one other thing you got to pay attention to is whether the saddle is moving or just the screw is moving. Sometimes you have to tap a screw with a hammer to get the intonation to change, because when you're loosening the screw is going out the back of the saddle instead of the saddle moving forward. Which is another reason why they say to loosen the tension on the string, which makes pretty good sense. I didn't do that on this instrument. There we go. So this thing does need a little bit of first fret action adjustment, but we'll do that at another time. This is playable, and I can always correct that at a later time. I'm running out of time today, but let me plug it in and hear what she sounds like. Let's hear what this Donner guitar sounds like. Right? Donner brand guitar. Wow. So we'll start with the neck pickup. Let me check my tuning. Okay, now, I'm going to use my snark. That's with the both controls, just dimed. Now I know that's probably blowing the microphone up, and I'm sorry about that, but I've got to play them at a volume that's acceptable for me to be able to hear the guitar. Okay, so I started playing this thing without adjusting the pickup height. So let's do that real quick. And again, you've seen this probably hundreds of times in videos on my channel, but this is the process I use to make sure that a guitar is set up properly. And I know there's a million different ways to do this, and I've received a lot of observations of the way I do things, and well, I don't do it like that, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I get it. There are a multitude of ways to do what I'm doing right now, and you can do it in different order, and it might work really well for you, but I do this for a living, and still am waiting for a complaint. A legit complaint, anyway, is what I should say. Now, this bridge pickup is way too close to the strings. Let's see if I can find that set screw. Where are you at? Nope. There we go. Way too close. And I can tell this bass side is way too close also. Nailed it. Look at that. Still a little bit close on the bass side. And then also double check your work, because you'll adjust one side, and the moment you adjust the other side, it'll change the opposite side. So you got to go over it a couple times to make sure that everything is holding true. That one, see, I had to adjust the bass side of this pickup, and now the treble side. I'm not quite sure why I can't find. There we go. The treble side is a little bit low, and I can see that the whole pickup is raising up when I turn this one. So there's probably some wires or something underneath that pickup that are kind of holding it up a little bit. But that's perfect, and that's looking good. All right, so now we should have well balanced pickups. And I love the dual humbucker. This thing works, the volume control works really nicely. The throw of it is... nice balance between the pickups. Feels nice for being a really very inexpensive guitar. if you came in here and played this guitar, you might consider buying it, right? Very affordable. And now you know that this guitar, even if we do sell it for more than what you can buy it for on Amazon, it's had that much work done to it to make it a player. I would be willing to go do a gig with this right now, although I would probably do a little bit of first fret action work, but that's something I can do at another time. So that is that. Let me turn this amp off because it's making all kinds of racket. All right, so here's my my good luck story. As you all know, I have in life, I have some of the worst luck. Y'all might remember when I bought a computer a couple of years ago on the advice of a friend, and it was a complete fucking waste of time. And then I also got a let's see, I bought a couple guitars in the meantime that have been complete wastes of time. And so recently I bought a XR18 audio interface, and I won't spend a lot of time on this story. Sweet tuning, I don't know what sweet tuning is. I'm not familiar with that. So this is just kind of a funny story. I bought an XR18 to run the sound for my band. The XR18 has been phenomenal. It works perfectly. But in order to operate it, you have to, in order to walk out in front of the band and mix live sound, you have to have a tablet or a MacBook or something like that, some Wi-Fi capable Windows or Macintosh. You can't use an Android device because Android devices, for whatever reason, won't download the software to run it. But they're much more affordable devices, so they're probably pieces of crap. But nonetheless, I bought this really what I was and what was reviewed as a very reliable Fusion 5 tablet. $299 roughly. Not a terribly expensive thing in today's world. So I bought this thing and I set it up, downloaded the software, and I didn't load it with anything other than what I needed to run the sound for my band with. So I had Mix XR Edit software, and I downloaded Reaper. That's it. I didn't put Facebook on it. I didn't put Google Chrome on it. I didn't, which they should sell them with Google Chrome because Microsoft Edge I think sucks, but nonetheless, it is easier on your RAM, but nonetheless. So we did 3 shows with it and made adjustments and mixed, and it just seemed to, you know, when I was using it, it seemed to work a little bit slow, is the best way I can describe it. It's like it was short on RAM. And
you need to get a job doing this.
I know a guy. No.
Oh,
there's a shop in Grande.
Oh yeah, I'll take care of him.
What was it?
Before you leave tonight, make sure that you get me.
He's leaving at 2, so get yeah.
I'll take care of you. You need some money.
Oh yeah, I took a couple days off too, so remember that. Well, I not took a couple days off.
At least give him 3.
I'll give you at least 3. How about that?
That'll help.
Whatever he needs.
Yeah, just don't leave the.
You know, that's
if it's not enough, then get more tomorrow or whatever.
Okay, I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah.
We'll do that for you. As soon as I get Cherry taken care of, I'll do that. I'll take him right up.
What time is it? Good grief.
That neck feels familiar.
Yeah, it does. My hands are numb, so I'm not going to grab it from you, so I'll drop it right now.
Yeah, it's in pretty good shape. It's in pretty good shape.
It's kind of sexy, different.
Well, it did the intonation. Look at the intonation on that thing, Stu.
Yeah.
Isn't that a trip?
It is.
Am I crazy, or does this have a pretty nice nut and pretty nice? I mean, those clues and pegs look right.
Mm-hmm.
I
think it's going to be a good one.
It holds tune really well. You can bend notes all the way as far as you want to bend one on it. You got good frets, good fretwork. There might be 1 or 2 of the frets we might.
Well, if there's something that needs to be done, have Joey do it.
Right.
Or unless you want to do it.
Well, and you know that's the thing where it makes you can make you look like a superhero.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah.
Put $700 on it and sell it for 4. Yeah. So anyway, the tablet failed on me. I used it 3 times at gigs. It failed, and it cost me. Amazon charged me $40 $7 because I didn't save the box. So apparently, when you buy an item, you have to hold on to the box for months and years after it works perfectly, and then it dies, and you, like a week ago, you throw the box away, right? So it cost me $47 to use this piece of crap manufacturing failure device. So I do not recommend anybody buy a Fusion 5 tablet. I've ordered a new one. They gave me my refund minus the $47 it cost me to try the piece of junk, which was slow from day one. And I gave it a terrible review on Amazon because that's what I would do if somebody worked on my guitar and gave it to me and it failed in some catastrophic way like this thing did. And the problem I had with it was that the screen would not turn on. So keep in mind, I had to log into my Google account on this device, and let's see, I had to log into my Behringer account to download the software. So some of my information was on this thing, but yet in order to get my money back, I have to return it. So there's all of my information, although I did have it password protected. So that forced me to have to go into, so this is what all of this cost me, this time that I had to spend and to make sure that nobody can steal my information. I mean, it just, don't buy a Fusion 5. I had a bad experience with it. I do not recommend those. So there you go. It's a Windows tablet. I ordered a new one. I'm supposed to receive it tomorrow, and so hopefully this weekend I'll have to go through the whole shutting off the S mode BS that Microsoft puts on all their computers to monopolize things, and like they've done with the Edge with Facebook and Messenger and all that stuff. It's all designed to let two people have all of the power in the universe. So be very careful on your buying stuff. I would not recommend buying a Fusion 5. Again, I've said it 4 or 5 times. Don't buy one. They're not worth the money, and it failed. And that was on a recommendation from a friend who saw the reviews, and I read them too, and they all looked great. But mine failed, and that's my luck. But I can't believe, I do buy a lot of equipment, so it is realistic that I do have failures quite often. So there you go. There's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you all soon.
Yeah, I already got her back too, so. Well, that was good. She went down for